You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Dean Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream. This is AFTERBUZZ TV for Glee. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Glee news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Glee.
How can you not move
Okay,
when
guys.
it's long?
It's multiplying. Glee performance in the studio tonight.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we maybe are doing the performance justice tonight, but Glee definitely did, and Bing is for doing, and we're here doing another Glee after show. So let's introduce ourselves first. I'm Stephanie Wenger, and sitting next to me.
Hey guys, I'm Christy-Anne Lopez. Tonight you can call me Rizzo.
I would totally call you Rizzo.
Rizzo.
Hi everyone, I'm Marisa Serafini.
Hello, everybody. I'm Sarah Mendoza. We have a special guest in the studio. Our friend Jill's here. Shout out to Jill.
Huge AFTERBUZZ fan.
Woo! So excited to have you here. So this is a big episode. We've been waiting for this one. It's episode 6 of season 4 of Glee, and it's called Glease, and it's the Grease episode.
It's the Glease
How-
episode, because last week it was like a teaser. We were ready for it. It didn't come yet, but here, finally it was here for today, and it was so awesome.
And how clever, Glease.
Glease, yeah.
Glease.
Because I think last week I was calling it Glease too. So
You know,
when
I think
mentioned-
they heard your idea, and
Right.
they stole it.
I was
and
trying to
you
say
said-
Glee, and I said Glease.
I have to say, I was double checking that as like, is that the actual episode title name? Because I was like, I love it, but did they really do it? And I just love the fact that they did.
In true Glee fashion, it's very corny, but
It-
very cool.
Yeah, and I felt like this episode was everything you wanted it to be. Like, it was so Glee meets Grease and just cheesy and fun and so much relationship drama. Just a good episode.
I just feel like
Yeah.
everything was so well done. From the music choices to the storyline connecting to it. I mean, it was just like everything you wanted and more. I think all of us were just screaming
The
at
whole
every 15 minutes. We
Yeah.
were like dying and trying to like catch our breath, and it was just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
just Glee.
There was like
Amazingness.
good dying, like oh my god, amazing performances, and then there was like scary dying, like people kissing the wrong people, and it was just like ah.
Overall crazy.
And-
amazing.
You always know it's a great episode when we're sitting together and we're trying to not talk about the episode because we want to all save it for you here
Yeah.
for our after show. And we're just like, oh, that's such a big, can't believe it happened. So, but let's get into it. We have a big kind of step with Rachel and Kurt coming back to McKinley. We saw Rachel there a few episodes ago, but was back again with Kurt and kind of seeing their relationships unfold with her confronting Finn. And that was one of the most awkward scenes I think we've seen this season with Glee.
Well, I mean, I think that they had the intention to come back home for like a reconciliation. Kurt was having, doubts and like, what kind of decision did I make? I really miss him. I might as well go back and take that risk. And I think Rachel was feeling the exact same, but didn't really want to be the one to initiate that decision.
Right.
And them going back and doing it together, they thought they would both have enough strength and support for one another to do that, but it definitely did not turn out
Yeah.
the way we all thought.
I mean, what do we think about that? Because for me, if I were Kurt and I was the one that was done wrong, I would have not gone there with the intention of, I really want to see Blaine and maybe we'll reconcile. I would have wanted him to like work for it, to get back with me rather than me going to him. So I like that they were going back to the school to see the play, but I was sort of like, oh no, Kurt, like you don't want to go there and chase after Blaine. He should be chasing after you. What did you guys think about that?
I really thought that it was interesting that they both went back because I was in the same boat as you. I really feel like both of them should, Blaine and Finn needed to work for their relationships a little harder. You kind of saw Finn ignore her at the beginning of the season, and obviously Blaine cheated in some fashion. So you want that kind of to them to work harder for the relationship and to see them crawling back from New York and back at McKinley. Like, I was excited because, you know, having the whole gang back at McKinley, what more can you ask for? But on the flip side, in terms of a real life situation, probably not the best choice.
But you know what? I guess I do agree in that he probably did need his closure. Even if he wasn't going to get back with him or forgive him yet, sometimes even if you're the person that's hurting, you do need to just like open up that conversation with that person to begin the healing process.
It's true.
For you.
I loved how they, both of them went back to McKinley because you can see how much they've changed from just that small period of time that they've been in New York. They're completely different people, and how they closed up, you know, those loose ends a little bit.
Well, I think, like, I mean, obviously the musical was an excuse to go back, because obviously Finn is Kurt's stepbrother, and Rachel and Finn have a history, so it would be kind of messed up if they didn't go back, you know what I mean, to see all their friends and see that performance. So I think it was like almost like an easy, sneaky cop-out to be like, yeah, I guess we'll go back, but more so I think they definitely wanted to go with the intentions to
and
reconnect something.
And it was clear that both of those relationships are blatantly over. I mean, at least for now, and I know it kills me as a fellow Finchel fan. It kills me to say that, but you kind of saw Blaine try to explain to Kurt what happened, and Kurt shuts the door on that, and then also Rachel is kind of broken up over another guy. She won't admit to Finn like that she's still interested or that she's thought about him, and it was clear, we'll get into the songs a little bit later on, that she's thinking about him. She imagines performing with him again, and you kind of see that flash of that happening.
And I think it was a lot more complex than just how it ended of Rachel thinking about the other guy, because obviously she went there and went there to talk to Finn and hopefully have some kind of conversation or whatever with him. And I think when they first came and they had their first meeting, when they all awkwardly kind of like, oh, hey, I think it showed like Finn's maturity and how he was like, all right, so I guess just thanks for coming. Like, and I think that kind of not turned Rachel on, but it kind of showed his growth. And maybe she thought more of him because of how he kind of handled the situation.
Yeah, I agree.
I like the fact that they were all very civil, like very more mature, more adult-like, even though they went back to high school to finish it off.
Yeah. I will say for Rachel, it's just so painfully obvious how torn she is, because she is going home to the person that was her quote-unquote home for so many years, you know? And so maybe that's obviously the connection with Finn, right? But then yet she has this other guy who is not necessarily home, but he maybe represents the possibilities in the new town that she lives in. So it's kind of like, either way, it's a good deal. Here's a guy that you're really comfortable with, and then here's a guy that you can explore new possibilities with. Like, who are you going to choose?
It's true. I just felt like when she and Kurt both kind of admitted that McKinley wasn't home anymore, it didn't only feel like the end of a chapter for those characters. It felt like an end of a chapter for Glee. Like, they were such a part of McKinley, and especially Rachel. She was the star at McKinley, and to say that's no longer your home is definitely a new chapter.
And we'll go into the performances a little bit more later, but to your point, wasn't it crazy to see, like, first Marley and Blake, what's his name? Marley and Ryder, and then taking over Finn and Rachel in that performance. It was just such a different, like, wow, parallel worlds. Like, this used to be them, and now here they are coming back, and it's the new generation, and it was crazy.
I have to say, I think Glee has done a phenomenal job this season. I was concerned, honestly, as a fan, coming into this season, that how do you split college and high school? We've seen so many shows fail at it, and they've done a phenomenal job of kind of melding those two worlds together.
What I think was a good idea for them, because people get really attached to these characters, right? Especially with Glee, there's such a huge fan following. I think if we just broke up with the OG cast right away, and then there's just they're completely replaced with no saying goodbye to the others, I think people would have stopped watching. There's no reason to hang on. This is not our Glee cast. This is not Rachel and Finn, you know?
Yeah.
So I think they're like not really tapering off, but like they're slowly pulling those characters out and then maybe developing something new. But imagine if they were just gone completely, I think they would have lost their audience.
I was gonna say cold turkey without
Yeah.
these characters would be a really sad day.
I'd have to go to rehab.
Yeah.
You know, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be doing the after show because
No,
it wouldn't
no,
be our
it
show anymore.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the same Glee.
It's
No.
so,
No.
It'd be
so
completely
true.
different show.
And you're kind of seeing those bridges all kind of the older generation take more leadership. We saw Mr. Shu is going off to, I guess, do education reform in Washington. And so Finn took over. That's why he was back at McKinley, took over for him. And
Go Finn!
woohoo,
Yeah.
directing his first play, which is huge, and kind of failed at the Army, but I think we're going to see him do really, really well back
Yeah.
at McKinley.
Christy pointed out that he's looking good.
Yeah. I was just like, wait a minute. It's not just me, right? Like all of a sudden he's like,
It's not just you.
like it's like slightly scruffier, taller, leaner.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
he's got more like swagger to him.
Corey
Sounds like
Some kind
me.
of director swag.
Oh yeah, it sounds like our
A
engineer over
little
here.
like our engineer Steve.
I guess if you like close your eyes, you know. Just kidding. I joke.
Ooh.
No, no.
Burn.
Oh,
I'm
snap.
not, I'm not trying to be.
Unnecessary roughness.
Okay, I
So-
shall be punished.
Yeah.
No, but no, I agree. He's looking more like an adult.
Yeah.
A gentleman.
It's true, and he admitted, Corey Monteith had an interview with Ryan Seacrest last week and admitted to the fact that he's been eating all the right things and exercising, and I think
We
he's...
could tell.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and we're noticing in this
Yeah.
room. We're definitely noticing that, and he looks great, and he's happy in his relationship, and we have a little news and gossip about that later on as well. But if you have any thoughts or opinions on our show, you can log on to iTunes, and we love your comments. It's so much fun to read them all, and we definitely take your feedback. And you know,
Yeah.
we want to hear if you love, hate our guests. All that stuff is great. And
You know what?
Yeah.
I actually printed out some of the comments and I just want to share them with you guys and give you some shout outs.
Yes, do it.
So-
we love
Do
a
it,
good
Christy.
shout out at
Let's give some
AFTERBUZZ.
shout
No,
outs.
but seriously, we are super thankful that you guys are here sticking with us. And like, if you love the show and just love AfterBuzz, go on, take 2 seconds, rate us, share, and comment, and we'll definitely give you a shout out or two and just let people know how awesome AfterBuzz is because we love our fans more than we love our shows. So, to Othello 32, no, I know that you weren't super happy with maybe a lot of the noise going on last week, but we still appreciate that you watch. Cocoa Butter 758, thank you. Maybe this wasn't your favorite episode last week, but I'm sure that you're listening in today, or I hope you are, because we love you and don't go away. 2 more, Hawaii Shoe Girly. That's a cute
Hawaii, I used to live
Cute.
there.
So
Actually,
loving
we
these
still there.
We love
usernames,
you.
they're adorable.
one. And Momo the Beast, thank you so much for hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christy brings up a good point. Like, whether it's good or bad, we just love hearing from you guys. We really aim to put on a meaningful show with stuff that you want to hear and talk about. So the more feedback you give us, the more we're able to give you what you want.
Absolutely, and we love, and it helps us create better shows for you. So that's always our goal here.
Amen. Shout out. Oh, and also to Adrian, one of our loyal listeners.
Yes, we
Watchtower.
love Adrian. So we should get back into Glee here and get a little bit into the Grease experience here with Marley, Kitty, and Ryder. This was kind of the craziest. Marley took on that big role of Sandy, and she was really having body image issues. And I thought it was great that Glee took on that issue, and she thought that she was gaining weight, but in fact, Kitty was the one who was sabotaging her, and she was adjusting, altering her costume so that they wouldn't fit her properly, and encouraging her to, be bulimic.
Yeah.
Binge and purge.
Binge and purge. Yeah.
So mean.
So mean.
What I like about the show is it actually incorporates that kind of struggle into the story plot, because there's so many like teens out there, and just the demographic that watches the show, they can, you know, it resonates with them. Some people struggle with it. Some people have body issues, you know, and it makes them feel not alone, and also it presents, you know, solutions. You know, you don't have to go that route.
Yeah, I felt that it was great. That I was concerned, honestly, when I first saw them suggesting that, and I wanted Glee to come up with a resolution that wasn't that she just continued to purge. I wanted there to be someone who stepped in and said, no, that you can go a different way, it's okay. And we definitely got that in Ryder tonight, which was nice. Because I thought if you leave that open-ended, that's kind of sending the wrong message out there, that that's an okay thing to do, and obviously you don't want to encourage that.
Yeah, and I love how, sorry, I love how that they address this issue, because it is a serious topic, but it's something that's really relevant for teenagers and the younger generation. I mean, I'm sure older people have it too, but like, especially at such a pivotal age, we're an impressionable age. And then the fact that even Marley talking to her mother, and there are better alternative solutions, that going on a healthy diet.
We were just mentioning with Corey Monteith, like he ate properly.
Yeah.
He's not admitting on the radio to being bulimic. So it's there's definitely other solutions, and it was interesting to see her mother, who obviously has had body struggles for years. She admits to that on the show. And they're both talking about, like, we can diet together, and that wasn't good enough. She needed a faster solution. And so I think that it's interesting that that's the way that they chose to manage it. But I loved that Ryder stepped in. And can we just say how great is he? He's stepped up in such a major role so quickly on the show.
I'm getting Finn flashbacks when I see them together from back in the day when Rachel and Finn were first starting out.
Absolutely. I know they're so cute together, and he's so supportive of her. And I just was like, oh, Fitchell fans can at least have a new couple now. It's okay. We don't have to be, And I love how Ryder did that, because Blake Jenner in real life, when we saw him on the Glee project, he was the exact same way. He was very supportive of the other contestants. You know, when they were having a hard time, he would just step in and like give that word of encouragement. I love how they translated that to his character as well.
And like the thing that's amazing about Ryder's character is, you know, there really are good guys out there. You know, you don't have to be just a jock and an asshole. You don't have to be like, you know, this Gleek musical theater guy, but kind of nerdy. Like, this is a guy who is truly all around a good person. You know, someone who's going to look out for their buddy, someone who's going to stick up for a girl that he's into, and somebody that will go out on stage and just truly be him. And like, that's like one of the biggest lessons I took away from tonight's episode is like, there's one lesson. There's always going to be somebody that's going to try to take you down, aka Kitty, aka Sue Sylvester or whatever. Number two, you have to just do like what you believe in, you know. And again, just like you said, Marisa, like at that age, like you're super impressionable, and obviously Marley's a very vulnerable, young, naive kind of girl, and thought, oh well, that's just what I gotta do in order to, you know, fit in and be comfortable with myself. But anyway, that's just what I love, you know, about Ryder, is just that he is like this all around good guy.
He's the champion.
Yeah. I just love the fact, from the Glee project, that he admitted that he wanted to be a Finn type character on the show, and that's what they've allowed him to be. And I think that that's always the best, when Glee allows these people to bring a little bit of themselves into their characters. It always makes for a more interesting show, for sure. So I also kind of loved the fact that Kitty didn't get any benefit in the end from it. She went on. We were concerned about her voice, because when you purge, obviously it can affect your singing voice. And
Marley's voice, right? So
Marley's voice. And so Kitty's plan didn't work in that way.
Right, because we were thinking that Kitty was trying to get Marley to purge so that it would ruin her vocal cords. We were just thinking of all kinds of like
I mean, we
undercover stuff.
We went evil with it tonight for sure.
Kitty was
but
evil
luckily
though,
it did not happen. Her voice was fine and she rocked her song.
Yeah, and she also ended up with a big kiss with Ryder, which was adorable. And
that's right. Ooh.
Very hot.
Yeah, the first big, I think their first big kiss for sure, and
it wasn't even on the stage. It was like
It was a real kiss.
It was a real genuine kiss.
It was, and what was a little sad about it, like the sad lining of this, was that Jake kind of looked on and looked really upset.
Yeah, whatever. Jake, you lost your chance. You went for Kitty,
right?
No.
Ugh, awful.
Terrible.
And this whole episode was kind of about, well, not the whole episode, but part of the episode was about betrayal for Shar. And we saw that again with Brody back in New York, who, unbelievable. I was shocked by this. I don't know. How did you girls feel? Was this...
Yeah. I mean, we saw it coming for sure.
Yeah.
I knew when she was offering up to Rachel her frequent flyer
Oh,
miles.
she wanted Rachel out of the way, for
Well,
sure.
She saw an opportunity probably like when they were, because they're always whispering to each other in class, right? She knew something was going on, and she just has it out for Rachel. So I think she saw it then. You know, something I might do to sabotage her is steal her little boy toy. And how can I do that? Let's get her out of the picture first.
Yeah, and Rachel bought it right up, and she was like, I'll go to McKinley and see my ex, but it's...
Nervous laughter.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was interesting. But then I don't think I expected him to fall so quickly. He seemed so into Rachel at the beginning of the episode. And then
Here's the thing. I don't think he's fallen for Miss July. I think he's a kid, an 18-year-old freshman or sophomore, whatever, in college.
He's a junior.
With crazy junior. Even though, you
Fact
know,
checker.
men until they're like 35 are like that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe 40. but, you know, hot woman who's got abs, very talented, someone he might aspire to be one day. Not a woman, but like a successful Broadway star.
Absolutely. I mean,
you're sleeping with your teacher who's probably going to get you somewhere. Yeah, you're going to do it.
Yeah.
it's true.
So,
I don't know. I felt like, he just, though, fell really, maybe he didn't fall for her, but he jumped into a clear kiss and a intimate relationship with her very quickly.
Yeah, I honestly didn't expect the kiss. We knew there was going to be a sexy dance going on, but I didn't see that ending.
I totally
Coming.
saw it. And I don't think that it's an intimate relationship. I really feel like it's Brody saw an opening, or the opening found him, and he just rolled with his hormones.
You don't think that he's attracted to her power at all? That's
I'm sure he's attracted to her, but I don't really think he, like Puck and Rachel's mom, or whoever it was, wants to actually pursue a relationship. That's just my opinion, though.
No, I think it's interesting.
I think Miss July seduced the hell out of him. Let's
Yeah.
be real.
Yeah.
She made it happen because she really wanted it to happen.
Yep.
And he's a guy.
I'm somewhere...
It doesn't take much. Not that I'm like saying like I know everything about it, but you know.
good insight. Good insight.
Doesn't
take much.
No, I just feel like she definitely seduced him. I mean, that was clear, but the other side of it is that it takes two to tango. I mean,
It does.
Yeah.
But for men,
Yeah, it was just another way to get back at Rachel. She has this thing against Rachel.
Yeah, it's absolutely true, and she wants to see Rachel fail. And we should mention that she also... Did Rachel end up going to her off-Broadway audition, or did
That
she...
hasn't happened yet.
Haven't happened
Yeah.
yet. She's still preparing for
Because
that.
her off-Broadway audition is when she goes back.
Yeah, I'm worried that Miss July will do something else to sabotage that as well.
Yeah,
like she's
probably.
already
I think this is it. She's starting it. She's messing with her head.
right.
By breaking her heart.
I think Miss July understands the fact, like Rachel's potential, that she could be very successful, and that's what Miss July could have been also. So she's like doing anything to make sure that Rachel's not going to be that successful person that she could have been.
Agree, 100%. Yes.
Agree, 200%.
Dang.
I'm right there with you.
300, anybody? No.
Exactly. Our special guest definitely is going for the 300. So we should also mention the sad... I thought this was a sad part of the storyline tonight. Unique had to give up his role in Grease because his parents didn't want him to be ridiculed for playing a female part.
Well, Sue, really.
Well, Sue,
Yeah.
and then his parents were brought in, and so he was forced to give it up, though.
And we also saw that Unique was also getting bullied in school for It was just like Kurt was, and I kind of wanted Kurt to, just come in and give a word of encouragement to Unique.
That's a good point.
That is a good point. And I also think that Finn, it was interesting that Finn didn't realize that that was happening. He looked completely shocked by that. And you would think, having been in the Glee Club, he would realize that you're open season to anything. All the criticism, the slushies. He experienced slushies too.
Well, he did sit Unique down in the last episode, warning him or her. But I guess maybe now, like when it came down to shutting down, like he didn't want his production to be shut down, and if this is what might have led there, like he wasn't gonna let that happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And but I just thought I just wanted him to be more comforting. I guess more in that Kurt vein. He didn't seem very comforting. He was just like, okay, well, we'll replace you. And he did. He found a replacement super fast. Then I think the next scene was him with Santana, and Santana taking that role. And once again, Tina cannot catch a break.
Being shafted, she always gets the short
Tina
end of the
never
stick.
gets anything.
Yeah.
What
Damn.
up? What?
Is it because she's Asian?
I know.
It is.
All three of us Asians sitting here are like, what?
I was thinking the exact same thing, though.
Come to AFTERBUZZ. You're welcome.
Yeah.
We're
Is it
very
because
open
they always
here.
have to have the underdog character there, or what? I don't know.
I don't know, and I felt like she just deserves. She's so talented to have a big singing part, and we haven't seen her really have her big moment in a long time.
Yeah, I think for Tina, because she is a senior, it's time to exert her authority and just like put in her 2 cents. Be like, hey, I deserve to even be considered for Rizzo, not just go on to someone
Santana
who's
doesn't
already
even go there anymore.
I know, not to someone who's
She's
already
like, "Go here."
graduated.
Yeah.
But Tina should have fought for it, and that's the thing. But Tina doesn't fight. And she needs to stand up for herself, and she hasn't.
No,
done
she's
it.
so quiet.
Yeah.
Maybe
But-
it's leading up to something really big, though.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
it's
think
gaining that audience's support to be like, all right, Tina, you're gonna get something really huge.
Don't
very
they
soon."
know that tears are a woman's most effective weapon?
Yes.
Don't they know?
Yeah. I just thought that I wanted her, to have that big moment. Maybe you're right. Maybe it will come soon. But I did love the fact that she admitted to missing Mike, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a sweet moment. We kind of had a few sweet moments like that. Santana admitted to missing, or Brittany admitted to missing Santana, rather. And Santana was a little more, I guess, iffy on whether she missed.
Yeah, because there was a very interesting look that Santana had on her face right before she was about to go on and perform, when Brittany's like, well, I really miss you. And she's kind of like, miss you too. I don't know. I felt like there was something there that she wasn't trying. She was trying not to express. You know
I
what I mean?
got the same feeling, yeah.
Yeah, Santana admitted she only did the musical just to see Brittany.
That's true. And I was afraid it was going to mess up her performance, having this big thing happen right before, big admission right before she went on stage. But that's such the Glee way. I mean, Finn admits things, and that's just the way that...
Do we think that Santana is having her cake and eating it too? Like wherever she's at, she's got some girl. Now she's coming home to see Brittany.
Ooh, drama. So much drama on Glee. But we should actually get into It's the Grease episode, and why don't we get into all the songs of Grease? I know everyone's
Christy's ready.
get set.
Oh, there you go.
Woo!
There you go. 'Cause I need a man.
I want to
All
start
right.
with the very first song, Grease Lightning. Oh my God, Blake, you are such a freaking star.
So
Yeah.
hot.
So hot. I mean,
gosh.
just the guys, like there's such a strong male presence and and just male dominance in this cast, and they all just look so good together. They gel so well together, and just the fact that Blake Jenner is leading them after just coming fresh off, a winner of Glee Project Season 2, like I'm so impressed, and he's got to be so proud of himself. And I'm sure the writers and Ryan Murphy, I'm sure they are just being blown away by this guy every single day, because it completely shows.
And we
Right.
talked about this off camera, that he is so talented, and he was here at AfterBuzz just under a year ago, and was now able to come and be a star on a major network show. Like how little time it has taken to change his whole life.
Right. Like we didn't
So
even know that
good.
he won the Glee Project at that point when he was last here in studio.
Yeah, which is crazy, and he's kicking butt on the show, so that's great.
Yes.
And I just loved that performance.
Yes.
And seeing all the guys in their Grease getup, and they had Corey Monteith join them, so it wasn't just the new guys. It was great. It was so much fun.
And they were really staying true to the movie. I feel like the sets were exactly the same, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool and also like sort of like uncool because you wanted originality, but it was like we're watching Grease.
Yeah.
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 It was slightly modernized for us, like the people that are super
Yeah.
familiar with the movie, you know?
Yeah.
Slightly.
I really appreciated it though. I felt like I know we talked about with like Britney episode and other things. They've gone kind of sometimes a little astray, not exactly honoring. We kind of talked about that it wasn't necessarily honoring Britney, and this felt like you were really kind of honoring Grease and everything that Grease is about, and did a great job bringing that to life. And they kicked it off strong. This first song was really energetic and fun. And then you had of course you had to have a girl song, and
Yes, of course.
Sandra D with Kitty and Tina and Unique at the sleepover, and we all knew that one was coming. I mean, so much fun.
It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Well,
It wasn't my favorite.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't my favorite either. But again, to me, it was exactly like the movie. Even to like when she stood on the bed, I remember that's the part when in the movie she would stand on the bed, when she would put on the wig, it was exact same timing and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't my favorite. It didn't feel as gelled as some of the other performances,
Right.
but I still thought it was fun and in the vein of Grease. Exactly.
Right.
It felt like it fit the episode. What was your issue with it?
Well,
Let me tell
I
you.
mean, like, I feel like that's a very obvious and easy song and character to play. So, yes, she did it. But, like, did she really go for it? I don't think so. Did she really make it her own and kind of like, because I feel like in Rizzo's original character in that movie, she takes mocking and gossiping like to a level where all girls like really understand and know. Even when you know the girls in the next room, it's like we're all like hush hush, like whatever. And when someone takes lead and kind of like talking about somebody, there's a really sick part that's kind of fun about it. But hers were just so, I don't know, just
Yeah.
annoying. She's annoying.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we just hate Kitty.
Yeah, we just don't like her.
it takes a lot to overcome, because we were saying Quinn had her good and her bad side, where Kitty's not showing a whole lot of good at this point.
There is
She's-
no
Just
good
vocally,
side.
it wasn't there either. I
She's
mean,
kitty
just the
litter.
performance. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty litter.
She's kitty litter.
Oh,
Sorry, Kitty.
Oh, snap.
mean.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would go that far, but why don't we
She
move
went
on to
there.
something a little more positive? How much can we all say we loved Blaine and with
Oh my
Teen
gosh.
Angel? I mean,
Yeah.
Darren Criss can
He
do no wrong.
did it justice. Oh my god, that was amazing. Because Beauty School Dropout's my favorite song.
Yeah, me too.
Out of
One of-
Grease. It's so
them,
simple,
right.
but it's just so awesome to listen to, and Blaine killed it. Just
So
so great.
good. I mean, I don't know, like his voice is so amazing, and he brings so much emotion to all of his songs. I think that's what's really fun about it, is he can sing sad or happy, and he just gets it.
And it
yeah.
has that 50s vibe that I love.
Yeah, and his
Yeah.
hair was all done up that way for sure.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Wow. Steve is on it with this music tonight.
I know,
Right.
so on
Where are
it.
you getting this? You know, also another thing, Sugar looked exactly like Frenchie.
Oh my
Totally.
god.
I feel
Split
like all
image.
of them
Yes.
resembled.
Facial structure, everything.
Yeah, like the makeup was great in this episode.
That's one
Yeah.
thing I noted too. Like everybody was like identical to the character. It was
Right.
so cool.
But then that's probably another reason why they did Grease, because they're like, we have so many characters who could play these characters.
That fit.
Yeah.
Even Santana with Rizzo, they kind of have like the chubby cheeks, the cute but chubby cheeks thing
Yeah.
going on.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
And Marley kind of did a reprise of the song from earlier in the Sandra D, and it was so much fun. I liked hearing her sing it. She has an amazing voice too.
Yeah, it just really showcased her range and what she can do with her voice.
I completely.
It wasn't showy or anything, just a simple reprise.
Very
But
heartfelt.
Reflecting her emotions too,
yeah,
which
definitely.
is very Glee-like.
Yeah, and then we move on to one of my personal favorite Grease songs. There are worse things I could do.
This was the heartbreaking performance. of the night.
It was. It was.
We were all freaking out over this one.
Santana took it on and, I mean, blew it out of the water.
Oh
So good.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. And
Great opening.
Yeah.
Just her by herself on stage.
Steve,
there it
nice.
is.
I know. You're really on it tonight. This is awesome.
The texture of her voice is very much like
Exactly.
Rizzo.
That's exactly what I was going to
Yeah.
say. Mhm.
Very
Very
raspy. It's like your voice, Christy-Anne. You have that
That's what I
raspy.
said. Call me Rizzo today.
Like the
Amazing.
weenie, Riz.
And what was interesting in such a typical Glee fashion was that they cut in that performance with Miss July and Brody in the middle of this song, and you just felt it. You felt Rachel, like, her heart, just was painful.
The story
Yeah.
behind when Rizzo sing it in the movie is way different than what was going on here, but both very controversial situations. Rizzo in the movie, she just found out she's pregnant. Pregger's having a baby. In this one, we've got all kinds of scandal going on in our Glease episode.
Yeah, and then the final performance of the night kind of took on, we were talking about it a little bit earlier, the new and older generation of Glee. It started out with Ryder and Marley singing "You're the One That I Want," and it was so cute.
Oh my God. It was like flawless. It
Fun.
was so perfect and so on point.
But then,
Marley had an edge in this song. That's
Yeah.
why I really liked it.
She looked good too.
So good. I put Marley is so stunning.
amazing, yeah.
Christy
And
is
Blake,
so
of
cute.
course, always looks stunning as well.
I mean, who can complain? Exactly. But for us Finchel fans, I think you can do, I mean, it was amazing to have another performance with Corey Monteith and Leah Michelle, and I can only imagine that was so much fun for them to film. They are a
Yeah.
real couple. I know we've said it before on the show.
I got kind of emotional, like seeing them on stage again. Like, oh, this was your stage. This was your stage, Mitchell.
But it was perfect the way they did it because you got so into the, into the mood of the watching
Yeah.
Ryder and Marley, and then just to flash to
Right.
them, it was like, oh my God.
Like, this
Oh,
will
that's so
be
fun.
you, and
Yes.
this was once you.
And they showed all the different characters together on stage, and it kind of like broke your heart. Like, you were happy to see them together, but you're also so sad that they're all in a different place.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It was,
and
like,
they
very
kinda-
contradicting.
They also paired, like, Kurt and Blaine for a second there.
Which
and-
is
Yeah.
so fierce.
And they were happy.
Yeah, and who else? There was another person that they
Oh,
brought.
Santana and Brittany were
Santana
both
and
there.
Brittany, and you knew something was going on there.
I mean, I liked the fact that they did that, but I kind of didn't because I felt like that took away from this year's new cast. That was their time to shine, and yet we still went back to the original cast. It's like we've seen it before, and I just felt like that should have been, Ryder's and Marley's time to shine, and we just saw the regular
I could
cast.
see that side, but then I could also feel the people who are just thirsty for
Right.
Finchel.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we got our little taste of them
Yeah,
again.
I mean, I liked it. It just it took away from their thunder.
I
Yeah.
totally felt the
Right.
same way. I thought they should have at least ended, like
Yeah.
had a big bang ending with Ryder and Marley
Yeah.
because
I thought they would.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they would cut
Did
to
it.
them again, but it was just stayed Finchel.
yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
dang,
and
that's
just
messed
ended
up.
that.
Getting sad. See, I was so desperate for Finchel that, like,
You were
well,
holding-
I understand where you girls are coming from, and I see it as, like, yes, we want the new characters to shine. I was still pretty content with the fact that we got some Finchel in there. So yeah, I loved this episode, though. There wasn't, like, a song that I felt was missing in terms of performances tonight. I thought overall they did a great job handling the episode. You know?
Agreed.
I liked it.
agree.
They did it justice.
Yeah.
It was very much a tribute.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tribute
Yes.
piece.
And I would like to say, I kind of want guys to bring the T-bird hairstyle back. Like, they're already at faux hawk. Just
No.
grow it out a little.
No.
Please.
Steven couldn't pull it off.
No.
I feel like yours is
Steven
like
could've pulled it off.
halfway there.
I've had long hair before. No.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Fine. My kid.
I know.
You'll force it upon your kid. It's awful. All right, so some news and gossip.
No break today?
TV News.
Never a break.
No break.
No
No break, straight through.
Yeah. So
How we do here.
we saw a bit of Amber Riley tonight on Glee coming back as Mercedes, and she also is taking on a new role. She is in the off-Broadway show called Cotton Club Parade, and she's getting rave reviews for it, and she sings, I guess, a bunch of different songs and takes on like she's in a sequin full-length gown, and it looks like such a fun show, and I would love to go see it. Like, that's all I could think about when I read this article. I was like, this sounds amazing and like so much fun.
Good for her.
And and it looks like it may actually end up going to Broadway possibly, so that could be really cool for her as well, because she definitely has a lesser role on Glee right now, so I think she has time
I
to...
would buy those tickets.
totally do it.
Yeah, right?
We should all go together
We can
if
make it
that
a
happens.
Glee field
girl
trip.
night. Girl
Yeah,
night.
Glee AFTERBUZZ field trip. It's awesome. And then we also saw Leah Michelle on Jay Leno earlier this week, and just a funny story from her performance or from her interview. She talked about that she loves to cook and that she like can't get enough of cooking for her boyfriend, obviously Corey Monteith, but she sometimes makes mistakes, and she made him a dish with raw eggs.
What?
And she said, but he was very good about it. He was a good sport, and I was like, well, that seems very Corey Monteith.
He would be, wouldn't he?
Yeah, like he's a great guy to
What
interview
kind
on
of
the
dish
carpet.
is that?
Yeah.
I know, like she was like, I didn't cook it properly. It was supposed to be an Italian egg dish, and she's like, but I think that eggs were raw, and so he was still willing to eat it. So he's a good boyfriend.
Yeah, what a
Oh,
great
gosh.
guy.
Yeah, risking some illness for to keep her happy.
Oh gosh.
And Sarah.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the People's Choice Awards. The nominees have been announced for next year, for 2013. And guess what? Glee received 5 nominations, including Favorite Network TV Comedy. And also Chris Colfer, Leah Michelle, and Jane Lynch were nominated for Favorite Comic TV Actor and Actress, respectively. So I thought that was great news.
It is great news. Yeah, they
That's
were definitely leading the nominations.
The
That's
people
super
will
exciting.
speak, and Glee will win. at the
Awesome.
People's Choice Awards.
And can I just mention, like, Sue's moment tonight, when every time she freaks out, they always play the Oh Fortuna theme song, and she just, like,
She goes crazy.
hits everything and, like, people and shoves people around. I love it every time she does
I
it.
wish I
It's
could
so
do that.
funny.
I know.
And she gets away with it, too, for being a teacher.
She does.
Yeah,
so
it's
funny.
so much fun.
Love that.
One more thing
Alright.
here.
Ah.
So, there are rumors, from some gossip here. There's rumors that a Glee star is going to be preggo in the show. So, one of the leading ladies, of course not one of the men, but one of the leading ladies, so somebody,
Oh,
it's going to be a
wow.
woman, is going to be preggo, and they're not ruling out Rachel. They're not saying who, though. So will it be Rachel? Will it be Emma, maybe?
I hope it's Emma.
Or
Oh,
is
gosh.
Quinn gonna pop out her second baby? Who knows? Will Marley, since she got her first kiss, her first taste, will she not
Yeah.
prevent herself from putting her hands in the cookie jar and become pregnant? Who knows?
She said cookie jar.
Cookies are good.
I have to say, I hope it's not Rachel. I feel like that's just going to be a season of baby daddy drama at that point, because yeah.
And Rachel would do anything to not jeopardize her future potential career on Broadway.
It's true. But should we get into some other predictions?
I think we should.
Oh gosh.
And now,
Shoot.
your
Christy's clearly behind on her predictions. She can, anyone want to jump in first?
Rachel will start ignoring Brody. Brody will wonder why.
Yeah.
And Miss July is just gonna keep causing havoc in class, I think, with both of them.
Mendoza, you're good.
Yeah, those are good.
Lopez, you're good too.
Okay.
I wish that Santana and Brittany will get back together. I kind of want to see that in the future. I think big showdown is going to go down between Emma and Will. Like, something is going to happen with their long distance relationship that's going to happen now.
Mine's
I
that.
mean, like wedding bells, or
I don't know. Like, something's going to happen.
See, mine's not really a prediction. It's more of a hope.
does it
So-
have to do with Finchel?
It does not actually this week. That's been the last 2 weeks. But mine is more about Blaine and Kurt. I really want Blaine to prove his love. Like, I feel like he's kind of sitting back and allowing Kurt to walk away, and I want him to go to New York and show him that how much he loves him, because it's so clear in every episode how sad he is that he's not with him.
Yeah.
So I hope that he proves that he loves him.
Can I insert random fact about them really quick?
Of course.
You know how Blaine was singing on the
Yes.
piano the
Yeah.
Teenage Dream song
Yeah.
Yeah.
when he was heartbroken? I found out that was actually live to tape. So it wasn't pre-recorded, all those tears and like, you know how he was obviously shaken up. They did live to tape.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
my
right.
God, that's so
Wow,
that's
amazing.
talented.
Even more
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, so
He's
crazy.
so fierce. Darren Chris is so amazing.
He's so
So
fierce.
amazing, and a Bay Area person like me. So
Oh,
awesome.
Bay Area. Oh,
Nice.
NorCal. We don't want to hear about that.
I love it.
And Christy, any?
Same page as you. I really hope that Kurt and Blaine are able to work something out because they're fierce together and I love them. But more importantly, I really think that there's going to be a huge fight for Marley. Blake thinks he's got her.
yeah.
Jake's going to come in and try to get her. I think that's going to be the big mix-up. And I also predict, or hope, predict that Blake will come on our show before this season
Okay.
is over. How about that?
Blake,
How about that?
on our
We
show.
would love that.
And bring Jake.
Yeah,
Yes.
bring
Like
the
a
whole
JY.
crew. It's awesome.
Bring everyone.
Yeah, we'd
Yeah.
love to have you all from Glee
Yeah.
hang out with us. So thank you so much for watching. We love Glee and Grease and all of that. So please comment on iTunes what you think of this episode. I'm Stephanie Wenger, and you can find me on Twitter at Stephanie Wenger.
I'm Christy-Anne Lopez. You can find me on Twitter at MissClo, MISSC_LO.
I am Marisa Serafini. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Marisa Movies. That's Marisa Movies.
And I'm Sarah Mendoza at Sarah with an H, Mendoza.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you,
so
Jill, for
much.
being with us today.
Yeah.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz.
Buzz you later, Glee.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.